Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how you can create a fiscal year formula that adapts to your quarterly fiscal year for your organization or team. If you don't know already, there's a very easy formula to show the default quarter based on the date property. And I've just set up 4 database entries to sort of illustrate that real quick before I jump into the fiscal year aspects of this formula. If we go to format date, we can simply just reference the date property, comma, and then type in quotation marks Q, and that's just going to give us the quarter based on the date. And so if we just add quotation mark Q and then add it with that number, we can see how format date can quickly organize our dates based on a quarterly format. Now, if your fiscal year is staggered by 1 or 2 quarters, I'll show you how we can go about doing that. So if we want to add the year on top of the quarter, we can do the same thing with format date plus format date. We can select the date and then the format of YYYY, which is just 4 characters needed to show year. So as you can see, it has no spaces. And so what we want to do is add a space between the formatted date outputs. So what we can do is open up a quotation mark after the plus, add a space, add another quotation mark, and then add a space. And now we have a clear way to separate the quarter and the year. Now let's create a formula for quarterly fiscal year that doesn't use the default quarters that are shown here using the format date quarter function. So I'm going to duplicate this property, and this one's going to be a little more complex because we need to have specific conditions for when certain quarters happen, and then also taking into account what your organizational fiscal year looks like. I think the let's formula is perfect for this formula because it helps us define several variables, and then based on those variable definitions to output different quarters based on a month or year of the date. So let's define the year, which I'll just define as YY, and that is going to be equal to the year function of today. And close it out, separate out with a comma. Now I want to do the same thing with the date year, which is just the year of the date property. Close it out, add a comma, I'm going to tab over a few times in a space. And then we also want to find the month of the date as well. We're going to use the month formula function date, add that up, close it, and then define it like so. To make sure that our formula doesn't break, just add the YY variable so that the formula is functioning. I can click out and it looks like this. Now, the easiest way to go about doing this is to think about the months within a specific quarter and then using those months to determine what fiscal year it is and which quarter it functions as. So I'll first define it as the default quarter, and then we can modify it to sort of fit the fiscal needs of your organization. I want to define quarter as sort of the variable that we're going to use conditionally. So I'm going to do quarter, and then I'm going to add a few lines in the formula so we can create that ifs condition for the month of the date. Generally speaking, ifs the date month is greater than or equal to 1, and it's also less than or equal to 3. So if it's between January and March, the quarter is going to be 1. And so using that logic, we can do if the month is greater than 3, make sure everything is exclusive, and it's also less than or equal to 6 or June. Let's call that quarter 2. Same here, DM is greater than 6 and less than or equal to 9. That means we're in the 3rd quarter. And then finally, if the date month is greater than 9 and also less than or equal to 12, that's going to be equal to quarter 4. I'm going to close that out, add a comma to define that variable. So now we've basically defined what a quarter looks like. And so we've basically remade this formula using the format date, but with more conditions specific to the month of the date. And so in theory, if we wanted to recreate that formula we initially created, we could do Q plus quarter plus add that space plus DY, which is the year of the date. And so now we have a basic quarter formula that mimics this, but now we have ways to adjust the conditions for the quarterly outputs. Obviously, to adjust for fiscal years, we want to just duplicate this, and we want to adjust the formula conditions that we've defined to appropriately match the fiscal year. Let's say your fiscal year is staggered by 1 quarter. So in our case, quarter 1 starts in April and not in January. And so the easiest way we can actually do this is just to switch the output of these if conditions. We know that quarter 1 starts in April, meaning past March and equal to and less than June. We just need to change this output to 1. And then we just stagger each number appropriately like so. So now April 1st actually is Q1, like we just talked about. And July 1st becomes quarter 2, and then January 1st becomes quarter 4. Now, that was a really easy adjustment, But now the problem here is the year. In our case, this should be Q4 2025, assuming that the fiscal year of 2026 starts in April. And so we have to adjust that formula accordingly, and we have to create that conditional statement for that fiscal year equivalent. And so we can go back to our fiscal quarters formula, and we need to redefine what the year looks like. So I'm going to type in year as another variable, and then create a condition. So if quarter that we just defined is equal to a certain quarter, then let's just account for that year. So in our case, because we're looking at the Q4, which lands in January through March, when the quarter is equal to Q4, let's adjust the year accordingly. And so rather than use the standard date year, we need to subtract a year from that. And so we can do date year -1 to accommodate for that fiscal year. But otherwise, we want to keep the year consistent for all other outputs. So we can add a comma and then type in YY, which is our other year variable that we've defined above. So we can close that out, add a comma, and now instead of using this date year variable that we defined, we just need to change it to the year variable that we just defined, which accounts for that condition like so. So now if we click out of this, we see that Q4 2025 lines up perfectly for the January 1st, 2026. And so we just staggered our fiscal quarters by 1 quarter, and then just created that conditional statement to account for that outlier of Q4 to include the previous year and not use the current year within the sort of fiscal year output. So that was relatively easy, and hopefully you got the gist of what I was going for. Once we've defined these conditions, we can actually just modify these outputs and then take into account the year of that respective quarter stagger and then account for it this way. Now, if we were to stagger it another quarter so that the first quarter started in June, we could just replace 2 with 1, 3 with 2, 4 with 3, and 1 with 4. And so that would assume that fiscal year starts in July and then ends in June. And so now, because we just staggered it another quarter, these outputs are going to look a little different. And we need to make sure that Q3 is also accounted for in the previous year. And what we can do here, we can do an OR statement saying if quarter is equal to 4 or 3, then show the date year -1. Otherwise, we're going to just default to the year of the date. So now by adding that OR clause, we can account for that stagger for 2 different quarters, for Q3 and 4. And so if we go back, we see that Q1 2026 starts in July. And then if you look at the previous entries earlier in the year for January and April, those show as Q3 for 2025 and Q4 for 2025. So once you set up those conditions, it's really easy to adjust the formula as necessary. We can just adjust these outputs and then the conditions in which we want to account for that fiscal year. I realized after filming the video that this conditional outcome needs to be date year and not year, because then that would sort of change based on the year that you're in which we don't want. And so creating this variable YY was more for demonstration purposes instead of having an actual use case, but this distinction is very important to make sure everything works in the future, in the past, and in the present. So this is a real quick one. Hope that you can use something like this in your workplace. And I think this is especially valuable when you can actually group it by the formula as well. And that way you have a clean way to show quarterly breakdowns, and then you can also show aggregations if you really want in terms of different property values. Obviously, we might need to manually sort the group, and so you could just sort manual and then drag oldest to newest if that works for you, and then vice versa as well. This is a rather quick one. Hope this all makes sense, and hope you're able to implement it into your workspace within a few minutes. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.